I am Jamaican and I still can't swim. Is this something that I'm proud of? No, I am not. But a lot of times people make jokes about Jamaicans and saying that we can't swim. But to be honest, for most of us, that's completely true. Most Jamaicans cannot swim. That's just the hard truth. Even though Jamaica is surrounded by water completely, it was just for some reason not a priority for you to learn to swim. We used to go to the beach, we used to go to the riverside, but we still had fun. We never had to like we dive under the water, but we never really, that's about it. You dive under the water, or you like at the riverside, if you have like a deep river, we used to like cannonball into the river, like cannonball, boom, jump in the river. And then after we jump down in the river, all we are all submerged into the water. When we get up back, that's it. We never really swim around. We just splash, 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 but we still had fun. When we go to the river, we usually like catch crayfish and shrimp. You call them shrimp and crayfish, but we call them janga. We catch janga in the river, and that was fun for us. So thinking about the swimming aspect of it, nobody really even thought about that because we were even having fun anyway. Whenever we go to the beach, then the beach is a different thing, because when you go to the beach would have waves, right? So when we go to like further out, not deep, deep, but further out, then when the waves come in, you just jump with the wave, right? Or we would play with each other, like with the water, like we splash water on each other. That's basically it. We cover our nose, go down under the water. That's about it. Nobody really learned to swim. The only people in Jamaica that really learn how to swim like professionally would be like, say for instance, you're going in the army, or maybe you're a police officer, or some type of government jobs where you swimming is a requirement. Those are the people who actually know how to swim. Or some of the guys, they just know how to swim somehow. I guess they just practice and then they just learn how to do it. Or maybe if you're a fisherman's son or a fisherman daughter, then you will know how to swim because your father is a fisherman, so you go with him. So obviously the fisherman is going to teach his kids how to swim. And it will surprise you a lot if a lot of fisherman kids don't even know how to swim. Yeah, yeah. It's really very eye-opening. Like when you sit and look, like when I sit and look back at it, I'm thinking like it wasn't a priority. They don't really teach you, like even going to school, right? Back then, going to primary school, going to high school, swimming was never a part of the whole curriculum. Like for PE, physical education, usually for physical education, we would do football, cricket, track and field. Those are basically the three most popular topics or subjects that you would learn in physical education. You don't really learn how to swim. They don't have that in the curriculum. I mean, I don't know what's going on now in 2026. Maybe now that, social media is taking over and more influence and people are exposed to other things, maybe now parents, like younger parents like me, I'm not talking about my parents, them not into them someday, but like younger parents like me, if I have a kid, then I would now put my kid in swimming classes because I know I don't know how to do it, so I would want my kid to know how to do it. So I don't really know what the scene now in 2026 is. If it's a part of the curriculum now, I'm not sure. Maybe some private schools would have that for kids. But yeah, for us in the 90s, in the early 2000s, we never really care for that. And it's just always funny because like now that I live in Canada and I've been exposed to other people from other places in the world, it's like when they ask you like, oh, can you swim, and you said no, they're like looking at you weird, like, so wait, Jamaica is an island, you guys are surrounded by the ocean, you guys are surrounded by the sea, you guys have so many rivers, like why can't you swim? I don't know what to tell them, but So that's why I'm like reflecting. And I know a lot of Jamaicans right now who are watching this video can definitely relate to what I'm saying, because we just didn't, like, it was just never in mind to say, let me learn how to swim. You know what they would do when we go to this, when we go to river or when we go to the beach? Like my brother or my sister would hold me up, right? Like this, and they said, okay, we're gonna teach you how to float. Then they hold you up, then you lay, flat on your back trying to float, and they hold you up and they said, all you have to do, this is how you float. All you have to do is say, as light as a feather, as stiff as a board. As light as a feather, as stiff as a board. So me now, laying down flat on my brother or my sister's hand, and I'm saying, as light as a feather, as stiff as a board. As light as a feather, as stiff as a board. And then boom, as soon as they slowly let go their hand, this is me slowly sinking down with them two in the water. Oh my God. So some kids would learn how to float. Back then, what I know how to do, even now, I know how to dog paddle. So dog paddle is like basically one of the simplest form of swimming that you can possibly do. So that's what I know how to do. Can I dog paddle for long? Not really, but I can try to dog paddle for a few seconds, maybe about 30 seconds, and I'm good to go. But if I have to dog paddle from right here, go over yonder, I don't know how that's gonna work out. But I can do my little dog paddle and whatever, you know what I mean? So most of us kids used to just do dog paddle, or we try to float and we just jump with the waves, and we just know that if the water, if you're going too far, because when you're in the water, in the beach or in the sea, it's like something is pulling you back. I think they said the current is pulling you back, pulling you further. So you have to be careful when you're out there, right? So we were smart enough to know that don't go too far. If the water is gonna pass your shoulders, don't go, so we were smart enough to know that. But I guess we just never really, we were having so much fun, we never really even see the need to learn to swim. That's basically my little reflection. I'm thinking about it. Maybe, so that's the reason, maybe. I can't talk for everybody, but for me, maybe I just never see it, because my parents never really show the importance of learning to swim and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I almost drowned. I think I was like 10, 11, somewhere about there. Us Jamaicans, like when it come to river and when it come to beach, we always have river party or beach party. So I think it was my older sister's birthday, and they were having a birthday party on the beach, right? So all the family, everybody show up, food are cooked on wood fire, and curry goat and chicken back and all of them, something they are cook, and a bubble soup are cook, and beer things are going, right? And everybody's there, cousins, sister, brother, auntie, uncle, everybody come over for the celebration, right? So because it's a celebration, we're gonna have stuff like beach ball, those little plastic round stuff that you'd have in the beach. So we're, as kids, we're excited because we're like, oh my gosh, we don't get to play with the beach balls all the time. Boom, no, I take one of the beach balls, and I was like hugging up the ball like this, relaxing on the waves, letting the waves carry me, closing my eyes, and I'm singing la 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 la. Guys, you see, when I open my eyes, I was floating for like maybe 10 seconds. I wasn't floating long. I was hugging up the ball, but I wasn't floating for long. About 30 seconds, 10 seconds, I don't know. I was a kid, so I don't really know. When I open my eyes and I look to the shore, like everybody looked like ants. I'm laughing now. But in the moment I wasn't laughing though. Like, that was one of the most traumatizing things that ever happened to me in my entire life. Other traumatic things happened, but this was like the worst of the worst for me. And I was young. I was like 10, 11, somewhere around there. Boom. I float away on the ball. I'm far out in the water. And tell me, why nobody saw me drifting away? Tell me, why nobody saw me drifting away now that I'm thinking about it? Anyway, nobody saw me drifting away, and I drift away far out. When I open my eyes, everybody looked like ants. Tiny people, I can hardly see the people on the shore. So you know what's gonna happen after that? I bet you can't tell me what happened after that. You know what happened after that? Panic attack. So I let go of the ball. All right, let me give an example. No, wait. I have a cushion in the back. Wait. So this is the ball, right? So I'm on the beach ball like this. La, 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 floating away, closing my eyes on the beach ball. So when me realize, say, everybody look like ants now. This is me. Fling away the ball when me look the ball. I'm so sorry. Wait. Let me calm down myself. Like, it's because I'm trying to explain the situation. My patois is coming out, but I have to explain it in English so that my people who don't really understand patois so much can really understand what I'm saying. When I fling away, wait, let me get my beach ball. When I fling away the beach ball like this, well, I didn't intentionally fling it away, right? I was just panic and the thing fell out my hand and it started drifting. Beach ball drifting away. Now me stuck without the ball, because at least if I had the ball, I could be floating still, right? Because the water is deep, I cannot feel the sand, right? I cannot feel the ocean bottom. I can't feel the sand. So you know I'm gonna panic. And me, you know, I've always been a very dramatic kid growing up. Like even when they were just stick a pin, wait, I'm gonna tell you the story. Even when we were like younger and they, you know, my bigger sister I would take a bath and my bigger sister would bathe me. As soon as they tried to put the water on my face, I'm like so I was always dramatic when it comes to stuff like that. I don't know why, but I was just always dramatic, right? So anyways, I started panicking, the ball gone, and I was just trying to, like, you know, do some dog paddle. And I'm like, help! And I sink back in the water and I go back and say, help! And I sink back in the water and I say, help! Oh my God. Oh my God. So, luckily, there were some older guys, because, you know, those guys, they always try to go far out and swim and dive and stuff like that. So there were some older guys. So they saw me drowning, basically. And they grabbed me. They're like, what are you doing all the way out here? You know, I'm like, help! Oh my God. And then they brought me to the shore. Guys, I was so embarrassed. I was like, nobody really saw what happened, but I was so embarrassed. I can still remember the embarrassing feeling that I got that day when the guys brought me to shore. And then the thing with Jamaican people, you know, like the thing with us, like we always know how to make turn a serious situation into a joke. We always take a bad thing and make laugh with it. So this is them now. When they saw me come back on the show, oh, John, you nearly John out there. And I laugh. Like, what the heck? Why are you laughing? They're laughing that I almost drowned. How? Oh my God. We are a one of a kind people, eh? But yeah, that was my traumatic experience with the sea. So from that day, I know I don't really like sea anymore, or river or pool. If I go to the pool, best believe me, I'm gonna stay at the shallowest part of the pool. If I go to the pool and the water reach here, I'm not gonna go. The furthest I would go if it's at my waist. So I don't really go to pools. If I do go to a pool, as I said, I'm gonna be waist. The water cannot pass my waist, or else I'm not gonna go in the water. If I go to the river, I'm gonna sit on the river banking, let my foot touch the water, and that's it for me. If I go to the beach, I will sit on the beach, on the shore, and let the waves come and wet my foot and stuff like that. But Nayoka is not going in the water. So I was just doing some self-reflection for 2026. And I said, you know what? And that's the reason why I'm doing this video, right? To shed some light on the whole Jamaicans can't swim thing. And that's the reason why I was even thinking about it. So for 2026, I was thinking, you know what? I'm going to learn how to swim, because this fear of me somehow submerged in the water is like, I cannot get over that. I cannot do it. Like I used to do it when I was a kid, but after that whole experience that traumatic experience, I just cannot allow myself to go in a seawater and put my head down in it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna learn how to swim. Whenever God bless me and I have a child, the first thing I'm gonna teach that child to do is swim. They're gonna get signed up to a swimming lesson, and they're gonna learn how to swim from a kid, from a baby stage. Because I don't want that to happen, the same thing to happen to them that happened to me. You know what I mean? But yeah, a lot of Jamaican people can swim. I feel like most of us who are thinking about this are people who don't really live in Jamaica anymore, and we are just trying to, like, you know, learn the things that we never get to learn when we were kids. We have to understand that our parents, like the 90s babies and the 80s babies, our parents never really know any better, right? At the time when we were growing up. So now it's just good if we can transfer those information now to our kids, so that they can be better than how we were. So as I said, for 2026, I'm going to try to see if I can incorporate swimming a part of my entire other things that I have to do. But even if it doesn't happen in 2026, it's still on my bucket list. That's something that I really want to do. I really want to learn how to swim. That's one thing I really want to do. So if it doesn't happen this year, it will happen next year or the year after that. But eventually, it's something I'll do. But anyway, I feel like it's gonna always be like that. Because for us Jamaicans, we're not really into swimming like that, most of us. We just want to go to the pool party, wet up ourselves in the water, splash a few times, and we're good to go. We want to go to the river, do a cannonball, jump off, play a little, catch some janga, and call it a day. We go to the beach, we swim, dog paddle, whatever we can do, as light as a feather, as stiff as a board, to try to float, and that's it. So if you're Jamaican and you're watching this video, share some of your childhood experiences in the comment section. If you're not Jamaican and you're watching this video and you're curious about something, leave your question in the comment section. Let's have a discussion over here to see what's going on and what other people's experiences are. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and if you know somebody who's interested in Jamaican content or my type of content, go ahead and share the video. Please remember to like this video, leave a comment. If you don't know what to comment and say, just say Jamaicans really can't swim, something like that. But anyway, I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful evening or a night, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.